Hey everyone, I'm Incoherent, and today the deck is Kangor Big Paladin, starring, of course, Kangor Dancing King and all of the high-costed cards in the world, using Kangor as one way to get them out, as well as mass Revelers and Frontlines. This is a really cool deck concept. I haven't seen much Kangor at all on the ladder, and I also haven't seen much Silence on the ladder, which implies that Kangor is not really a top-tier deck. However, Savige recently posted a video with this deck list, and I mean, when his video description is just "play this now, most fun I've had in years," I want to go play the deck. He seems unambiguously enthusiastic about it. The deck seems sweet. I want to go see how it feels. So let's go take Kangor Big Paladin for a ride and see if it's remotely competent. It seems good against Blood Decay, and that's always a plus, because I'm basically picking my decks based on who gives them the hardest time these days. It's early in the morning and I just woke up as I start recording this, so I forgot something. It's time to chill. If you haven't already, please head on down, like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really does help the channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. Anyway, we do have a Death Knight. Hopefully it's blood, and hopefully this deck does well. None of these are staying in the mulligan. Do I hold Truesilver in case it's not blood? It doesn't seem good. Like, even if it's not blood, it still feels like a bad hold, right? Like, you gotta go for Consecrate and Hammer of Wrath, which is what we got, so that's nice. And we have the Coin Kangor to follow it up. Coin Kangor into Thaddius seems pretty good versus aggro. It is not aggro, though. I'm ready to get destroyed by main deck Silence. Let's go. Anyway, this seems pretty straightforward. I'm gonna pass until on turn 4 I can Coin Kangor, right? So turn 2 Hero Power, turn 3 Hero Power, turn 4 Coin Kangor. Not great against this deck. You don't want to be tempo dirty ratting me. I'm not a pure Paladin. Thanks, buddy. Really appreciate it. Oh, that's very funny. Anyway, he's going to kill this with Hero Power and then realize that he doesn't have the mana to asphyxiate what comes out of it. Come on, don't hit it with the Dirty Rat. Hero Power it. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? This is a really good first game. Tempo Dirty Rat to get my Thaddius out on turn 2 as a Paladin, huh? Yeah, nah, Chief, that's going face. Get that rat out of the way. Why is my coin cost 1? Oh, it's Thaddius. He's nerfing it. I wasn't planning on playing it anyway. Don't really have any even costed threats in my hand, but I can still push 11 face damage. Oh my god, does he not have the answer? He's really hoping for Obliterate then, or maybe he made Dex Obliterate. Dirty Rat Obliterate would make sense. You can just discover it too. I mean, like, fuck actually running the cards that you rely on, right? Now, unfortunately, I don't have any threats in my hand, but my opponent doesn't know this. It's gonna be so sad when I manage to lose this game. But for now, this is what we got. I don't see a point in coining Kangor when there's nothing to load it with. It just seems entirely wasteful, so I hold coin for front lines instead. Man, that could have been a 1 game with a slightly better draw, but at the same time, it's still really funny, so I can't be too mad about how big of an advantage it got me. He used Dirty Rat Hemoturge to kill Thaddius, so it is up in card advantage compared to where we started. I could have Quality Consecrate this. I can also just slam Kangor though, which makes it look like the Kangor is loaded. And the Kangor is loaded now. But I would rather coin the Reveler instead. Alright, what do we get? Good enough? Because unfortunately, Kangor pulling the Reveler on their turn is just a lot worse than the Reveler on my own turn. Anyway, deck seems sweet. I'm enjoying this. I mean, you know what's in my hands. Do you have a silence effect for it? He heals for 6. I have 11, 12 on board. Nowhere near lethal. I can trade Feast and Famine to kill it and go face for 8. Seems good. Get him back out there. Because the Death Rattle order should mean that I draw the card off of the Flesh Behemoth before Kangor dies. Oh no, because if it's Corpse Explosion, then it won't matter. Kangor will just go back to my hand. It's fine. It's still putting Kangor on board. What am I going to do? Play Hero Power instead of Kangor because my hand's empty? That'd be crazy. This is a really good first game. I was thinking, there's Blood Death Knights everywhere. Kangor shits on them. Theoretically, if they don't have Silence. And that seems to be getting proven pretty thoroughly. If if I get Service Bell, do I have any big duplicates from Paladin? No, I'd just be grabbing like Leviathan or something. Yeah, Service Bell doesn't have great hits here for making this better. I wouldn't even do that. I would just grab front lines, right? Then my deck out, make sure I have the turn 9 of front lines to win the game. Well, that's a good draw. So we trade in here and we hero power. Stoneborn General kills the 2/3. The 1/1 gets to live, who cares? Yeah. I'll take the 6 face here. Is it possible for me to get blown out by a Sylvanas here? I've killed enough minions, right? Definitely. If he uses Sylvanas here and doesn't take Stoneborn General, I'm just threatening lethal, aren't I? No. I've only got 13, he's going to be at 16, 17, 18. It doesn't threaten lethal. Well, I just have to play into that possibility, man. It's unfortunate, but it's the case. I still have strong stuff on board, and if he does steal the Kangor, it does really annoying things for him, like turning off his Soul Stealers and his Mograine. Thankfully, he doesn't have it, and I didn't have to get punished for thinking about this. So that'll hit my 1/1. I can Equality Consecrate and go face. My stuff being at 1 health hardly bothers me. Service Spell into front lines gives me a good reason to Equality Consecrate with the other 5 mana. I'm definitely playing Service Spell into the front lines. The question is just, do I need to Equality Consecrate? I like Equality Consecrating. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I don't hit it. Damn shame. Leviathan's available now, though. Since I don't hit front lines, because it is random at the end of the day, what am I doing instead? It's still the same play, isn't it? No, because I don't have the follow-up. Consecrate trade. I have 2 Consecrates after all. I'm not too worried about trying to prevent him from getting any healing from that. Maybe that was bad, because I might just want to keep that in my hands due to Soul Stealers. Maybe that was bad. I don't know. He could just not have Soul Stealer, and it's obviously sick, right? That's not Soul Stealer. This could be Corpse Explosion, but it's not. Oh yeah, if he does Soul Stealer, I have the 8/8 with a Rush and a random Undead. And the Undead in my deck is still... Is the Stoneborn General a demon? He's a demon, not an Undead. Are there any Undead left? Just the other Flesh Behemoth. Oh yeah, and Rivendare. Yeah, I've got a win condition for this matchup. I forgot about him. They can heal my minions, so I think it's the right thing to do. I should probably draw and dredge, right? If I get front lines, I wouldn't play it this turn, so it's better to draw first. How much damage do you have? Wait a second. 16, 20, 21, 22. He's dead, right? 8, 16, 20, 22, 24. He's dead. So, we won't be using the front lines this time, unfortunately. We would have had it anyway. We just would have had Neptulon off the Kangor, which is still pretty solid, you know. So that was a stomp. That seemed like a pretty good counter deck up there with Combo Druid. I mean... He tempoed out my Kangor with a Dirty Rat and then proceeded to pop it immediately to see what would happen, and it turned out Thaddius was in there. So, maybe my opponent gave that one to me more than the deck won, but still, that was convincing. Alright, we've got another Death Knight. Hopefully it's blood again. Hopefully they tempo out Dirty Rat on 2 and just assume I'm pure again. If I am a pure Paladin, tempo Dirty Rat on 2 is not that bad. There are very few bombs that can hit, and even then you'd rather hit them then than elsewhere. We hold muster no matter what matchup it is. It's just like the only good early play we have in the entire deck before Kangor. All right, so we're set to win eventually on Rivendare with front lines to get all the cards out. Theoretically, at least. In reality, I'm not convinced it's very good, and also, that's not the game plan. This is not blood. But we do have Consecrate, Muster, and Truesilver. We have every early game tool we have available in the deck except for Hammer of Wrath. My opponent just has Bone Breaker, but I mean, I'm about to Hero Power, which, like, I can't really say you just have Bone Breaker when I have less. Still, though, I'm afraid of Arms Dealer and shenanigans like that. This is not as bad as it could have been. Hey, there's the Arms Dealer I'm afraid of. Unfortunately, that's going to be a great egg for stomping on dudes, and that Arms Dealer's going to stick around for a hot second. I do have the Hammer of Wrath when the egg inevitably pops, and I do have Kangor on 5, which is very good. Unfortunately, that will be a clearly unanswered Arms Dealer for a turn. It's unlikely it has too many more 1-drops. The deck doesn't run that many. Also, Foul Egg implies Rowdy Fan is in the deck. Hardcore Cultist is unfortunate, but at least I have an answer. Do I just Consecrate here? What's the alternative? Next turn, I'm playing Kangor every single time. I need to remove as much power from the board now as I can. Does that mean Consecrate? Does that mean Truesilver Champion? I think it's actually a swing at the 1/1 Truesilver Champion. Because I'm just trying to survive long enough for Kangor to hit the board and stick, right? This feels very weird. I should Hammer of Wrath that instead, right? Yeah. The hit from Truesilver is not going to be worth much more in the short term. Then next turn, Kangor comes down, and this is like the amorphous slime decks where you're all in on drawing amorphous slime, except instead of having 2 copies of them, I have 1 Kangor. Service Bell can hit Kangor because it's like there's not that many Paladin cards in the deck. It's like a 33% chance-ish, right? We have Feast and Famine and Maki roll equality, Consecrate, Hammer of Wrath, Muster, Service Bell itself, Truesilver Champion, Kangor, Leviathan, and Frontlines. 11. It's not 33%. It's like, it's a little bit worse than that. It's not quite 25% either. Anyway, we slam Kangor here. I didn't get to see his opening the first time. And by the time his opening was coming down, I was paying no attention to it because I was laughing too hard at Thaddius having come out on 2 to pay any attention to anything. I like that opening. It's a good entrance. Oh no! You hatched your egg! What will I do with my lifesteal Ragnaros and my 24 health against an aggro deck? Frost Strike and Division R is pretty good, but Rag is not a minion you can freeze and ignore, unfortunately. I could Consecrate that. Doesn't seem like it has a point, though. You just slam Kangor again, right? I'm gonna hold this hammer for a little while, because probably gonna be Kangoring again for several consecutive turns. Hey, it wasn't face, that's what I wanted. God, the heal for 8's so brutal. Giving lifesteal to the Rag is what's really sick about this. It's not even the tempo Rag, it's the fact that it's just like, aggro is off the table. You are now playing a value game. Have fun. What was the 2 damage on my... Asphyxiate's an answer, but I mean, it's only part of the answer. Congratulations, here's the next one. Like, I know going face doesn't do anything, but also you can't do that. That's not a solution. When we get to turn 9, Frontlines will end the game if his board isn't massive. I can just play the Leviathan here instead of the Kangor. It seems better in this case. So we'll do that. We've got draw first because we're not going to be doing anything this turn, and then dredge for next turn with more information. Equality Consecrate is available. Masked Reveler gives me minions from my deck to help deal with the frozen stuff. I already have Equality. I don't need Feast and Famine because I'm at full health. Am I going to swing face here? No, because I'm not playing Truesilver next turn either. Next turn's almost certainly going to be Kangor Consecrate. Yeah, he's done. He's good. He doesn't need to play out this. He knows the grind is over. Thanks, Kangor. Huh. The deck's real good. Well, the high rolls are real good, right? Maybe not the deck. Let's see how it does against a real deck without Kangor on 5. Or Kangor on 2, as it were. Do you hold Masked Reveler? We assume this is Totem Shaman, and the idea of holding a 6-drop is tantamount to suicide, so he calls Masked Reveler. We have a Service Bell and a Frontlines. It's a little bit optimistic to think that we'll go to turn 9 without deciding the game already. Consecrate is good, though. Consecrate's very good. Equality Consecrate's very good. Shaman is a class entirely about flooding the board. It is probably going to be Totem Shaman. I think Schooling would not have room for it in an overload list. But, all the same, even though it's a completely board-centric matchup, we just put down a dude and say, your go. That's all we got. Both Frontlines, huh? I mean, it's not like it's the only 9-cost card in my deck. There's plenty other of high-end that wouldn't be helpful here. So the fish come down, clear my guy, we play the Service Bell. Kangor, you in there? I'm about to pick the other Service Bell to look for Kangor again. No, I take Truesilver to answer Eyesore. And it pulls 2 cards out of my deck, which is just better than pulling 1. But if I don't pick this, I have no answer to a naked Eyesore coming down. Oh shit, it's not, it is Overload. It's not Totems. That surprises me. In that case, I wish I had taken the Service Bell. Anyway, deal with this fish, get this in play. If I had known this was Overload, I would have been playing very differently. Now, the real question is if he just hits everything. If he hits Jive, Insect, and Criminal Lineup, and the Overload cards to enable it early, that could be pretty awkward for me. We've got the answer there. What do we do with the rest of our mana? Just play the other Truesilver and sit on it? Seems fine. Is there anything I can do proactive? No, not even a little bit. I could have played a dude there, but I don't want to. Like, that's the real answer. There's no value from the dude. All right, so still nothing. Play that, drop a hero power. End my turn. Yup. Not really doing a whole lot over here. That's okay, we actually have a quality Consecrate to clear the board with relative ease here. One of the few classes that can easily answer this. I'm gonna need you to take all of that right back to your hand. Not dealing with it. We have 2 turns until front lines. So we just need to get through 1 turn without the game exploding. And he could still theoretically have Rag Criminal Lab in 2 turns. But the moment front lines comes down, the game ends for him. Because he doesn't have minions in his deck, so it just fills my board. This card's supposed to have a somewhat symmetrical effect, where it's not clear that it's just better for the Paladin unless you build your deck around it. But when my opponent deck has only 4 minions, it just summons 7 massively expensive minions from my deck. Huh, I wonder if that means he's going for something. He's going for Glug. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer for Glug. In fact, I've had approximately fuck all. So what do? I feel like I Maki roll myself 5 times in hero power. And then next turn we play front lines. It's a shame I don't have any Hammers of Wrath or second Consecrate because I do have second equality. But yeah, I'll just Maki roll 5 times here. It's not a good turn, but it's the turn we got. And I've got no reason to hit face there. Glug's only his own minions, right? It'd be crazy if we were in mine. Yeah, it's friendly minions only. So if I top deck Consecrate, I could equality Consecrate, but pretty much no matter what, I'm still gonna be playing front lines. Because the moment you see Prescience, you know it's probably a 4 minion deck, so I just need to clear this, and then he has maximum 2 minions left in the deck, which doesn't fill his board. Wait, what did we just play? A Sharon Scroll. Alright, this looks like it could be bad for us. We did miss Kangor after all, but we have the front lines now. So I think we're just good. I think we're completely fine here. We have drawn a lot of minions ourselves, but the front line should still be able to fill our board, yeah. So this should still be excellent for us. My opponent thinks he's in a wonderful game-winning position if he's not familiar with this deck. If he's familiar with this deck, he's sweating bullets right now about what's currently on the board. Yep, that's a good chunk of damage. We hit 1. We front lines, and we hope that his deck is built the way we think it is. Let's see it. Do you have more minions in your deck than you should? No, he doesn't. Oh, that's the saddest Neptulon of all time. We want these to hit that, so we need other stuff going elsewhere. Do I just give up the Neptulon? If this goes in, it'll hit Mass Reveler or Kangor. So I want to trade that in. I'm going to keep this guy with his Wind Fury around. And just trade all of this in here.
Party's over.
Hey, there's the Kangor. So at this point we want to draw first. There's no reason to do it the other order. Do I have any use for a second Kangor? It's funny. Yeah, I have use for a second Kangor. The only way this game continues is if my board gets wiped, in which case second Kangor is nice. Good job, Rag. Alright, so double Lightning Storm, I guess? I don't think the random Colossal's gonna do too much here. This is such a sad Neptulon. Like, I'd rather get the hands for Neptulon in most cases than the minions. In this case, it looks like it's pretty close that it would have been bad for me if I had gotten the hands. Because, like, the minions I need for the rush were already on board, I guess. It's hard to articulate easily. Anyway, I'm at no risk of dying anymore. Oh, that's mean. It's still good. Like, it's no 8/8 that summons another 8/8 that has a lifesteal, but it's still good. Alright, you got Rag. Congratulations. The funniest thing about this is that because Mass Reveler summoned a copy of Kangor, I get 2 Kangors, so it's the easiest 10 mana of all time. I just play both Kangors. Also, once this dies, I just win the game off of front lines. Alright, is he gonna rope on the pirates? It looks like he did. Yeah. I wonder if that auto chooses the pirates or if he doesn't get all of them. Maybe I'll take the damage here. Slam double Kangor and push forward to face. From the bottom, I would like Hammer of Wrath. And the moment that 6-1 dies, I'm just looking at playing front lines immediately to threaten to end the game. But until then, there's not enough minions in my deck to justify playing a front lines, because there's just a singular Masked Reveler in there. Also, my deck's pretty empty. I've got 8 cards left because I pulled all my minions out of it. Interesting. I don't think any of this matters. I think he's long since dead. I think his deck has no response to this. The fact that we got to the point where I was able to play on the front lines meant that he just died. He wasn't able to win before my deck went off. That secondary win condition, not just being all in on Kangor, is super important. The existence of front lines here. Oh, speaking of, I need to turn that back on. There we go. I turned off card tooltips by accident. This is much better. He's not hexing the 6-1. We got him, boys. So, is there any chance of him being alive here? I guess he actually is alive for a turn. Right? This isn't lethal? Man, my math's real bad. This is exact lethal. There we go. One more Piranhas left. I've been looking at the overlay settings. I've been over here finding the button to press. Finally got around to it. So now I just play front lines again and make obvious trades and win the game that way, right? Oh, that is actually pretty spooky, though. No, it's not. Rag is dead this turn. What am I talking about? Take that attack. Take this attack. Kill the Rag so that he can't duplicate it. Play front lines so that he has, like, he can't not evolve something in my hand right now. This is the saddest trade of all time because there's nothing in there. It's empty. But that's fine. So, once again, huge board has to deal with it, probably can't. It was impressive he was able to survive the last turn. I was busy messing with my overlay, so for all I know, it was likely, but it felt pretty unlikely for him to survive that. Unfortunately, there are still large undeads in my hand. Oh, but not in my deck. Right, yeah, he works in the deck, not your hand. I'm just bad at the game, ignore me. The 3 Horsemen of the Apocalypse are here to take their due. Is there any way for me to self-sell them? Nope, there's not. I don't have the ability to blow up my own board, unfortunately. And he's gone anyway. So, that secondary win condition looks solid. The deck's actually doing its job. Alright, we've got another Death Knight, just 3 Death Knights and a Paladin. That's the ladder in a nutshell right now. Okay, cool. I think we hard-tossed anything that's not Kangor is basically the way this mulligan works. On coin, I'm actually willing to hold a Masked Reveler. It's just very, very high impact against aggro decks and control decks. It's holding a chance at a Kangor, which is better than most cards. It was not control, so I regret my choice to hold Masked Reveler and not look harder for stuff like Muster for Battle. But here we are. Stoneborn General was not the draw. Not the draw at all.
And close enough. Reach for the sky.
That Feast and Famine to kill that, it's not great. But I mean, it's what we do, right? What's the alternative play to Feast and Famine? Alright, cool. Glad we had this chat. Now I hit it. The issue is that I have to actually, like, make a play at some point before turn 5. I have, like, turn 3 and 4 to worry about, and I have literally nothing to do on them. Apparently my opponent's not doing too hot, though, so that's good news. Now, I could Maki roll here. If I had a way to kill the egg, Consecrate would make a lot of sense. Consecrate with equality seems nice, but I can't kill the egg after with the hammer or first with that hammer. There's no way to line things up. It's too small to justify AoEing. I'm looking at healing myself for 6 because I might not have the time to do it later. And we might be forced to equality Consecrate next turn if the board is bad enough. I have to assume that's not the case. Okay, so I'm planning on coining Masked Reveler, right? I'm getting hit for 4/8 damage over the next 2 turns before Masked Reveler goes off. That means I'm at 14. I'd much rather be at 20. This is a very scary situation to be in, even if it looks relatively okay. Like, oh, you're playing Masked Reveler in 2 turns. It's fine. I'm not fine. I'm not fine at all. He's going to drop Naga School Teacher. Nope, just School Teacher. Naga Ling School Teacher. Someday my brain will figure it out. He's going to drop the School Teacher, and then he's going to do something on 5. He's going to be hitting me the whole time. He's a burn-based deck with freezing board effects, so I cannot afford to sit there. If he just passes on turn 4, that is so good. That is so far from what I was afraid of. I think this is a Consecrate, and actually reduces the power on the board. It could also be hero power, because I have both equality Consecrate combos in hand. And I'm not going to clear the board here, because it doesn't reduce the power by much, right? It reduces the power by 1. It doesn't put it into any chunk that I can deal with easily. It's not popping the Masked Reveler anymore. Top deck School Teacher is definitely the best draw in his deck there. But hey, at least he didn't have it last turn, right? I really need that School Teacher to not hit. All right, that's still scary as shit, but it didn't hit, what's it called? Anti-Magic Shell. Because if it had done that, then this wouldn't be coming down to kill that this turn. It would have been a serious, serious problem. With Masked Reveler, we stand a chance in hell. Bit slow, Kangor. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. He needs 5 burn from hands. He hasn't discovered any spells. It's not turn 7. Am I gonna win? Am I gonna stabilize off the Kangor hit there? I did say holding Reveler is like holding a chance at Kangor. I'm interested. It's so unlikely that I'm dead here. It would have to be... You didn't hit the Kangor. Ah, Bone Marrow Manipulator does it. Grumble, grumble. Ah, right. Yep, that card exists. Oh, such a shame. That was so close to stabilization, but there's just no way for me to get around that. You can't just skip 6 consecutive turns, basically, against a Frost Death Knight. We knew the deck had a tendency towards doing this, and it's super frustrating because you can't mulligan that matchup properly. You can't mulligan for Frost if every, like, 3 out of 4 Death Knights are playing Blood. So it's just a free win for them because I have to mulligan for the matchup that's more likely. Alright, I'll keep Muster for Battle because, I mean, it's Muster for Battle. It's the only good curve play in the entire deck, and even against Blood, you have to deal with their minions early. But it's still not great. Alright, this one is Blood. That's great news. I'm definitely more favored in this matchup. By a lot. My win rate in the other matchup is essentially the win rate of drawing Kangor on 5. And I drew him a turn late that game because I had to coin him out on 5 instead of coining him out on 4. Easy hero power pass. Next turn we Service Bell. We're looking for Kangor. We're willing to take, you know, Hammer of Wrath just to get it out of our deck. There's not really good hits on the Service Bell other than Kangor a lot of the time. So just hit Kangor with it, easy. Got him. Sorry, it just cracks me up every time, and I'm like, you know, I really need X Discover effect to hit specific thing, and it happens immediately. It just really amuses me. I'll drop Muster here and get working on this. It's definitely the best thing to do while I wait for Kangor to get out. We have Kangor on 5, Kangor on 6, front lines on a 9. We need to figure out something for 7 and 8. Oh, we have a third minion there that will draw another one. Cool, we got Kangor every turn until front lines hits to break his back. Seems like we're gonna win. I forgot to hit in turn though, so that's a little bit rude of me. So he's got Steam for days. Let's see if it's enough to answer consecutive Kangors. Why would you coin hero power here? Does he feel like he needs the corpse or something? Vampiric Blood in hand, maybe? I don't know. Oh, he coined because he doesn't want to overdraw. That's what it is. It's Kangor. All right, Dirty Rat is gone. I don't think he'll mind too much considering what my hand looks like, that he can't play the Dirty Rat. If anything, burning that probably helped him by preventing him from tempo Dirty Ratting me like a crazy person, like the last Blood player did. Do you equality to kill your own Kangor? Unfortunately, that means I wouldn't have the mana. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you gave me a target to kill my Kangor on. That makes my life much easier. Whoop. Get another Kangor out there. Man, my life was a lot more complicated before that 3-attack minion came down. The moment that came down, it's like, oh, all right, I know what to do. So this Flesh Behemoth hits Thaddius and only Thaddius. Oh no, there's Rivendare in there too. Good, that means my second Flesh Behemoth also has a target. Man, this is so silly. I'm really enjoying this deck. I'm glad I took Safiz at his word and like played this, because his description wasn't this is OP, go play it. His description was this is incredibly fun. These are some enjoyable high rolls. And I've done it almost every game, right? I've done it in, I almost did it every game. I just died on turn 6 in the previous one. Do I equality here to trade, and then get Kangor down again? That seems like nonsense. Oh, I top deck Thaddius? That's so sad. Well, doing the equality trades then doesn't seem very good at all. I need to get this guy working towards death. I have no reason not to hit him. Just put a hero power down and wait. Well, the wings are handling themselves on pretty high priority minions, it seems like. Getting the second one of these is actually nice because it makes me safe to patchwork removing the win condition. So I use this plus Feast and Famine. No, it's gonna die. Wait, why would it die? That wouldn't help him at all. Yeah, so this plus Feast and Famine gets me through. We play Feast and Famine. We play this Rivendare ourselves. No, because we'd rather replay the Kangor, right? Yeah.
Dance off.
So we hit there. We see what we get. It wasn't that. That's fine. We get Kangor back out. We finish him off. We create a dude, I guess. There's some disgusting value in this deck, isn't there? Like, I would soul steal this if I had the option of doing it. It's just not good anymore, because now there's 3 6/6s charging this 4 8s. Oh man, it's a shame Thaddius ain't out there, but it's fine. He'll be out there eventually. You know, once Kangor decides to put him out there. Welcome aboard, 4 Horsemen. God, there's just infinite fuel to put in my Kangor because of the Horsemen now. It's so funny. It's so good. I've got cards to put in frontline as well. Do I have enough? Yeah, I've got enough left in my deck to frontline. Well, losing out on the Neptulon's unfortunate. I still think I just slam frontlines this turn. Seems reasonable. It probably threatens to kill him immediately by pulling out both of the Horsemen, right? Yeah, we just do this. Oh, Leviathan's breaking up the animation a little bit. Cool. Let's take a second to reassess the situation. We have... all of the Horsemen have come out. So he has to not remove them or he loses. This trades here and pulls the other Reveler as a copy. Which isn't particularly useful, but it's fine. Oh, it doesn't do anything. My deck tracker might be confused then, because there should have been another Reveler in there. We killed that without letting it heal. And then we just take value trades elsewhere, right? Yeah. We would like to have Consecrate with our equality. Value trades where they are available. Cool, Soul Steal begin commit seppuku. It's easy. Like, what's he gonna do? Clear my board? Got him. God, I've never seen Rivendare go off before. It's easier to make him go off when you just teleport your entire deck onto the field immediately. That looks sick, seeing that Rivendare effect going off simultaneously with the corpse explosion. Even if the game has freaked out a little bit now on the screen. There we go, it showed up eventually. I really enjoyed this deck. This is a good time. As I've said in the past, I'm picking my decks based on what counters Blood Death Knight. What is this chart? What do you mean 80% Death Knights? It's another one. Oh no. Gee, I wonder if I hold Ragnaros or if I put him back in my deck. Complicated mulligan. Now we hope that it's Blood because this deck is great versus Blood, and if it's not Blood, then things are definitely a lot worse for us. I have to get Rivendare out on 6 to avoid getting patchworked because Rivendare just wins the game, as we saw previously. Thaddius is not— oh, it's not Blood. This is a real bad hand against not Blood. Oh man, I even played like what I view as the safest, most cautious route with the Maki rolls in the last one where I lost to this too, huh? Unfortunate. Well, if Blood's every other deck in the ladder, which in this video it has been, it's still a pretty good deck, even if it auto loses to aggro. We don't know that it auto loses, just that it's not good. That was really weird. The rope started twice. Never seen that one before. Anyway, hero power and pass. I'm sure it'll be fine. Balag, not the worst thing in the world, but it's still not good. I'm having some flashbacks to the last game that I got crushed. Yep. I'm glad I hit the dude. I don't know why he's over there giving up face damage, but he shouldn't be. None of you are Kangor. Not a single one of you is named Kangor. This is a heal for 7, though. Actually, more than that, because I can use it multiple times. If I swing with Truesilver plus this, it's a huge heal. It's very helpful. So I'm going to take the healing tools, because I've got a distinct impression I'm going to need them. Whereas Consecrate and Hammer of Wrath are pretty slow cards that don't necessarily deal with the board in any efficient manner. Taking this damage is fine because I have the Feast and Famine to heal myself. It's sort of hilarious that this is the largest damage to remove from the board right now, even though it's just 1 drop. It's fine though, I'm fine, nothing bad's happening. Next turn we have Feast and Famine and Hope. Because we don't have anything to do with the other 4 mana. We're gonna take 2, 3, 7 damage, go down to 15, a heal for 7 plus 2, go up to 24. This means this board gets bigger, but not necessarily much worse for me because it just turns a 1-2 into a 3-3 after the swing. What else do we got? Hammer of Wrath, that's a pretty good draw. Can't imagine it changes my play here. Nope, didn't change it at all. I can't have double lifesteal, unfortunately, so that's the best I can do. Next turn we have Masked Reveler, and we hope that it gets us out of this. Always a good thing to be saying, and we hope that it works. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem particularly likely that it does. We have Stoneborn General, Stoneborn General, Neptulon, Leviathan, Flesh Behemoth, Kangor. We've got some good hits, just the board's fairly large already is the issue. This is better than killing his 4-3 at least, so I do feel better about having a much better target for my Masked Reveler. Unless he has Anti-Magic Shell, which case I feel terrible. There's always the chance they hit that, and it's a very, very gross thing. They don't though, so that's nice. Again, terrifying. Anytime they discover damage and put it in my face, it's probably not good for me. We're basically all in on getting a very good thing off this Masked Reveler. And I heal for 12, that's less than he has on the board, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, let's see it. Can you save my life, sir? Button's not green. Draw first, dredge second. Second Maki roll, huh? Do I have an equality yet? I don't, so the Consecrate's not particularly useful. I'm gonna take the second Maki roll. So, Mirror Manipulator comes down, my board is dead. I take 6, I'm at 2. I spend the whole turn healing to 14, so I'm up to 16. He hits me for 9, I'm down to 7. It doesn't look good if he has the Mirror Manipulator, but I mean, yeah, if you have a good curve in the Mirror Manipulator as Frost, that's the reason you play the deck. That's what the deck is, like, that's the absolute best the deck does. This guy hasn't really missed a drop, but he did miss Mirror Manipulator, and that's really good for me. Now the question is, oh, that's unpleasant. You weren't supposed to have Hardcore Cultist there. If I just heal for 14 here, doesn't seem very good. He has 8 on board, now he has 10 on board. Feast and Famine is nice, but it's not enough on its own. I have second Maki roll now. I knew that was happening. I have to play this and assume it's relevant, don't I? That's very scary. What can it hit? It can hit Stoneborn, which is going to kill stuff. It can hit Neptulon, which will kill everything. It can hit Flesh Behemoth. It can hit Leviathan. It can hit Kangor. Kangor is actually the worst hit here, but I've got to take it. I've got to go here. Even though the 2 damage to face is likely killing me. Thanks, Kangor. I appreciate you showing up to the party. I'll just be dead then. Oh, Kangor, why'd you do this, man? I was dead anyway. There was no way for me to survive because I was just dead to Frostworm's Fury. Frost is definitely the worst matchup for this deck I can imagine on the entire ladder, so it's unfortunate that in the 6 games I played, I've seen it twice. As of now, the win rate for the deck is 100% against nothing but Blood Knights and a Shaman and 0% against Frost DK, and oh my god, you're not a Death Knight? Holy shit. We are few and far between these days. It's about time. Do I hold Service Bell for the chance at Kangor? Or do I mulligan it for the chance at Kangor that way? You can't hold 3 3-drops. You can't hold 2, though. I'm likely to coin Muster Prattle into Hammer of Wrath if it's not undead, if it's imps. If it's not imps, though, I need this Service Bell. Okay, coin Muster no matter what, Service Bell on 3. And Service Bell is still alright if it's getting me Kangor against other things as well. Coin Muster into Truesilver. The worst, what's it called? I can't remember the name of the hammer. It involves the word light. It's gonna be the worst Light's Justice value in history. Get 2 of them, use 2 charges. Hey, it's not a control variant. That's most definitely imps. Glad I've got the Light's Justice and the... not the Light's Justice, I'm sorry. I'm glad I've got the Muster for battle. Light's Justice would not be a card that got played and constructed these days. Or ever. Flame Imp's fine, not a big deal. Nothing's Impossible is like a little bit annoying, but again, really not the biggest deal. Do I Consecrate this turn to keep him under control? It seems sensible enough. Doing that implies he has like no other tempo plays, so Consecrate here means that he probably has a very clunky hand. You don't want to be playing Nothing's Impossible. It's always the last result in that deck was my experience playing it. Whenever I had Nothing's Impossible, if I played it, there was nothing else to do. I'm expecting a tap here. Or a hard cast Murlocula. May as well have life tapped. Let's get the Service Bell out. Those aren't the cards I want, but Frontline can win in the late game, so I guess I'll take that. I'm almost certainly playing a weapon next turn, so I'll hit face. Which seems insane to my opponent. I may as well have just told him. If there were chat, I may as well have typed into it, I have more weapons in hand. Because that is the most wasteful swing of all time as the control paladin against the person with a lifesteal on board. Bio Library means I'm gonna get hit for a lot next turn if I don't clear that, which I mean, I'm not going to, I can't. Oh, there we go. Get out. Okay, we've largely kept him under control until the late game. It's hard for me to imagine that I die now, but Reform specifically probably does just kill me because I don't have Equality or Consecrate in hand, but he doesn't have Reform, and that's very good. Bio Library can be answered with the Mass Reveler plus a swing from me, and hopefully it'll just give me the answer on the Reveler and I won't have to swing myself. But no matter what, this comes down and we see what's in it. Yeah, I'll take the hit. Get that 5-1 off the board. We have 2 more turns until Frontlines kills him. What do we do until then? It's not looking good. We're gonna need to find some good stuff inside of this guy. Like Thaddius. Thaddius could be inside of this guy. The only other option is Flesh Behemoth. Cool, Frontlines comes down now. That'll be the game. What a fucking deck. This is so stupid. This is so dumb. I enjoy this much more than Amorphous Slime for some reason. Theoretically, Undead Warlock should be just as stupid and unfun, but it's not, and I don't know why. So I just play Frontlines here, right? And then we win immediately. Oh, my Thaddius is going to switch, so I don't play Frontlines here. Instead, I play Neptulon, Thaddius, Rivendare. Oh. Yeah, let's just... I'll just Maki roll myself in case of some odd coincidence where I could be dying. Cool, good luck. Your turn. Have fun, Imp Warlock. What a normal board for turn 7. Yep, those guys deal area of effect damage when they die. And that's neat, but my board's not dead. Huh. Weird, there's still lethal on board. Hey, there you go. That is admittedly a lot of curses. I still have 2-turn lethal though. And if somehow this isn't 2-turn lethal, I have front lines to just put the nails in this coffin. That was a good play though. Lady Darkbane is always really brutal when she comes down, because if she comes down, it means she's doing the Abyssal Wave play, which is no fun. I wonder, had I seen a curse before that I think I had? Oh, that's so sad. Also, order lol. Not that it matters, like he's obviously dead, but I think I should have known Abyssal Wave Darkbane was a possibility and played around it, but that also feels stupid. Yeah, the moment you see Abyssal Wave, I should be aware that Darkbane's a possibility, but like, how do you play around what is essentially a quality Consecrate? Anyway, that'll be it for now. I am surprised to say that I think this is just a legitimately good deck. Obviously, Frost is a bad matchup, and the 2 draws I had against it weren't great, but like, it confidently beat everything else. It could be high variance. There's clearly a high roll in this deck, but I've had several games without Kangor where I still won. If nothing else, it's a great counter to commonplace Blood Death Knight, right? And I think the deck is just unambiguously good. When I thought that Kangor would be a meme card, not worth playing, I may have just literally not even known Frontlines was in the game. I honestly didn't know this card existed. I didn't play when this expansion launched. I've never seen it played. I've never noticed it when I was looking through the books. I was like, oh, that's a card you can play? I didn't know that was in the game. But it's a good deck, unambiguously good, and I'm surprised to say it. I'll be coming back to it eventually, but for now I'm going to continue on with doing more experiments until I've gone through like every single thing that I'm interested in, and then I'll start grinding out games on interesting decks like this one. That's not even necessarily true. I'll grind out games on what wins, which will hopefully be interesting decks like this one, but for now I'm done. I've been Rather Incoherent. I hope you enjoyed the video. Kangor was absolutely sick. If you did, then please do like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It really does help the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one.